Good, happy Thursday morning, September 23rd, 2021. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Thursday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Thursday morning, so let's get started and begin. First up, New Hampshire State Police searching for driver who hit and killed retired Hudson Police Sergeant. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's that time of year again. The annual Fair is Fair sale back at Mealy Tubbs, and it's the biggest one yet.
The victim in that hit and run, Donna Briggs, a retired sergeant with the Hudson Police Department. She went for a bike ride around 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning and never made it home. Yellow flowers left on the side of Route 125 in Kingston, where 59-year-old Donna Briggs was struck and killed in a hit and run on Tuesday. Briggs went for a bike ride Tuesday morning, and when she didn't return home, Kingston police were notified. Her body was found several hours later down an embankment along Route 125. State police have released surveillance video of the vehicle they believe was involved. It appears to be a GMC Yukon manufactured between 2000 to 2006. The SUV has damage to the passenger side of the front bumper and hood area.
Route 125 is a very busy roadway. We're asking anybody that was on Route 125, either traveling northbound or southbound, to contact us. And if you have any information or if you happen to see the incident occur.
Briggs retired from the Hudson PD after a 20-year career. She was a wife and mother to 2 adult children. She was also the first female ever promoted to sergeant in Hudson. Hudson Police Chief Bill Avery had known her since the academy.
She did literally everything in her career, from the patrol division, detective division, legal division. She was a school resource officer. The kids, faculty in the school district loved her. Just a great person.
And Briggs was an avid cyclist. She was training for the Unity Ride, which raises money for the Law Enforcement Memorial. Live at the Kingston Police Department, Jessica Marin, WMUR News.
okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire seeks recruiting firm to help address healthcare staffing concerns. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
In times like these, we're all spending more time with family and more time working our land. Visit ymahindra.com.
The state is about to release a request for proposal, or RFP, to attract a national recruiting firm in hopes of getting healthcare workers from across the country to relocate here.
The recruiter is going to go out to college fairs in different towns and do some cold calls and talk to these healthcare professionals and say, we have a great opportunity for you to come to New Hampshire and see what New Hampshire is all about.
The state is using federal American Rescue Plan Act funds to find not just doctors and nurses.
It's social workers, it's direct service providers, it's nursing assistants, it's all of the healthcare workforce.
It's a long-term solution, but it's an immediate problem too, as many nursing homes and home health care agencies are forced to reduce capacity. In some cases, family filling the gaps, others that would be referred stuck in the hospital.
That is unfortunate. I wouldn't say they're falling through the cracks, but they're probably not in their optimal placement.
Short term, the focus is on helping the core staff that keep things going.
I'm hoping that between the efforts of the individual facilities, the efforts of the professional associations, and the efforts of the state, that we can provide some relief to them in the coming months so that they can hang on a little bit longer.
Now, Shimonette says the state is reviewing requests made by the nursing home industry here in New Hampshire for some of those federal funds to help in the short term, funds that could be dispersed in the next 4 to 6 weeks. We're live in Portsmouth, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Four more Granite Staters die of COVID-19 as cases and hospitalizations fall. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Tractor has been in our family since 1955, when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George decided to sell
To the coronavirus pandemic in New Hampshire now, the state has seen its third straight daily drop in active infections. Current cases are now at just under 3,500. DHHS announcing 286 new cases tonight and 93 additional cases from yesterday. Currently, hospitalizations also going down tonight to 130, but there are 4 new deaths to report.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire primary source. Top New Hampshire Democrats call for Weiler to be removed from committee chair post. At issue is longtime GOP lawmakers challenged to state's data on a percentage of hospitalizations COVID-19 patients who are vaccinated. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Tractor has been in our family since 1955, when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George decided to sell.
House Democrats in Concord want consequences for a lawmaker who got into a public spat with the Health and Human Services Commissioner. Minority Leader Rennie Cushing is calling on Speaker Sherman Packard to remove State Rep Ken Weiler from his chairmanship of the Fiscal Committee. Weiler made headlines late last week after HHS Commissioner Lori Shimonette told him he was spreading misinformation about the COVID-19 vaccine. The Kingston Republican said he heard from talk radio that 90% of people hospitalized for COVID in New Hampshire are vaccinated. Shimonette corrected him, saying the majority of hospitalized cases are actually unvaccinated. Weiler declined our request for comment.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Rematch. Manchester voters choose Craig Sullivan to advance to the general election for mayor. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 rated reliability of Kubota.
Two years ago, Manchester Mayor Joyce Craig won re-election, taking almost 60% of the vote in a victory over Victoria Sullivan. While the names atop the ballot in the Queen City will be the same this year, the world has changed, primarily due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which top state health officials have warned could be spiking again this fall.
We are always operating with the health and safety of our community at the forefront, and we have taken steps, for example, in our public schools to ensure a layered approach with masks, with social distancing.
Aside from some back and forth over how federal relief dollars are being spent, Mayor Craig's approach to COVID-19 hasn't been a major campaign issue, but that could change.
I am very disappointed that there wasn't a remote option offered to children going to school, because I think that's really important. We now have kids that have been in contact with someone who had COVID that are in our schools that don't have to quarantine.
As Manchester deals with violent crime and homelessness, Sullivan says it's time for a new direction on public safety. She chose to conduct her interview with News 9 today at a homeless encampment near a residential area.
The homelessness isn't just a downtown issue anymore. It's coming into all of our neighborhoods.
Mayor Craig says she's on top of these issues, pointing to increased funding for hiring police and a new director of homeless initiatives.
The safety of individuals in Manchester is my top priority.
Another unique dimension to this year's race is the new school choice initiative known as Education Freedom Accounts. Mayor Craig is wary of the potential financial hit to the school district, while Sullivan, as mayor, says she would support the program.
I think school choice is important for all of our children and all of our families. It only strengthens public education. It really does.
I do agree with choice. Parents need to make the right decision for their kids from an educational perspective. But I don't agree with taking public dollars away from our public schools.
The 6-week sprint to the finish line starts now. In Manchester, Adam Sexton, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Sununu blasts delegation again before heading west to speak to California Republicans. Governor says keynote address to Golden State GOP convention shouldn't be interrupted as a move closer to running for U.S. Senate. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Thank you for tuning in and watching this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast. Goodbye, everyone.